Alright, so this is probably one of the most poorly aged episodes of this show, but let's try to remember that a lot of older media can suffer from these moments. I still remember Tasha Yar having to fight a warlord's wife and feeling a bit odd about the overall episode, and now that I think about it, that is also the fourth episode of The Next Generation. Maybe this was meant to be a callback to that, or just some kind of weird sexist tradition. Oh well, who knows either way. We will just get through this one and then move on to more fun in the future episodes. I'm Dr. Ursa, and welcome back to my review of every episode of SG-1. Let's go ahead and talk about Season 1, Episode 4, Emancipation. We open on our favorite SG team arriving on a new planet for another recon mission, and they don't encounter anyone at the gate. While scouting their surroundings, the team encounters a young man being chased and attacked by several dogs. Jack draws and fires his pistol several times to scare the dogs off. This character introduces himself as Abu of the Shavadai, the people of the steppe. When Carter and Teal'c show up, Abu freaks out over seeing a woman. This is the first of what will be several cringy lines and moments throughout this episode. Daniel correctly identifies that these people are Mongolian in culture and origin. They try to settle the matter, but weapons end up getting drawn, and we fade into the intro with this lingering moment of tension. Jack clears it up by firing his pistol again, and thankfully the crew is not afraid to utilize their tactical advantages. Abu's father shows up and learns that SG-1 have saved his son. When Carter explains their weapons to this man, he orders her death. Abu speaks out, and his father acknowledges that she should not be killed since she did just help save his son. Good job, buddy. Now just catch up with the rest of society and we can get on with things. As SG-1 enters the village, we see that the women are required to cover their faces and are definitely treated like second-class citizens. Daniel is excited about the anthropological implications of this old culture, and Sam is rightly confused and concerned about the whole situation. Abu's father explains the laws of their land and how they are extremely outdated. A cultural exchange begins, and Abu seems both willing and excited to share their medical knowledge with Sam and the rest of the team. Sam gets a little grumpy about the rules that they try to enforce on her, and Jack orders her to play along for now for the sake of peace. This feels very on brand for the military, sadly. We see Sam in a new outfit, and I really just want to apologize on behalf of everyone to both the character of Sam Carter and Amanda Tapping for this episode. The boys are blown away by Sam's new outfit, and again I'm thankful that they kind of toned this stuff down going forward. That said, we do have the Hathor episode ahead, so we're not completely out of the woods yet. We see someone pull a knife on Sam and kidnap her during the party while everyone else is distracted. We then learn that it was Abu who kidnapped her, and he's planning to trade Sam to another tribe for yet unknown reasons. Jack is not very happy about this recent situation and is more than willing to throw away peaceful relations in order to recover his team member, and at least somebody's doing the right thing here. Abu's father is apologetic and offers to lead SG-1 in search of his son and Captain Carter. Sam is offered up to Turgan, the leader of this aggressive tribe that Abu is seeking out. Turgan is intrigued by Sam and threatens her with violence when she does not follow his orders. And I gotta say, a knife at your throat will motivate most of us, but man, I really wish Sam still had her gear right now. After all this, I just know that I would personally refuse to ever leave my tactical gear by my side again. We see that Abu has interest in Turgan's daughter, Naya, and there's supposed to be an undertone of sympathy for these two young lovers. Abu's request is denied, and he's essentially told to take the gold or die, as Turgan is claiming Sam either way. Sam does remain defiant, even when he strikes her, and the most annoying part is that she could totally kick this guy's ass if she had a chance. Daniel spends a few minutes trying to explain modern human rights, and we learn that the people of this world came up with their backwards rules in order to protect their women from the demons that used to come and take them away. The demons being the Goa'uld, of course. We do learn in this moment that Abu's father, named Mogul, is actually rather progressive among his people and only has one wife who he seems to actually love. Turgan is questioning Sam on her usefulness as a member of the tribe, and she explains that she is both a warrior and a scholar where she comes from. He's unable to break her, but she's smart enough to know when to back off in order to stay alive. Don't worry, y'all. She will get hers before this is over. Sam attempts to escape, but is stopped by the perimeter guards outside the camp. Turgan tries to threaten her with violence against the other women before straight up assaulting her. Again, this episode aged like milk left out in the sun. SG-1 finds Turgan's camp, and we learn that if they do not act before the end of the day, he will partake of his newest purchase. Yikes. This means they go now, and Jack and Co. enter the village. Sam sees them coming and lights a small fire to sow some chaos and attempt to let Naya escape. Turgan and SG-1 are negotiating a price to buy Sam back, and he ends up kicking them out due to his arrogance. Jack draws his pistol and demonstrates it yet again, and suddenly Turgan is very interested in a trade. He ends up accepting the pistol for Sam, not understanding how ammo works, and the crew escapes back into the woods. Abu comes and finds SG-1 the next morning and requests their assistance in saving Naya, who will be stoned to death by her father for trying to escape the village. Sam is determined to go and save Naya, and Jack pushes back at first on a non-interference policy, but they're brought around to the right decision with creative interpretation of the old laws of these people. We do see this one moment of Turgan forgiving his daughter before ordering her execution. Such a sweet guy. Morgul remembers an archaic law, and the crew returns to challenge Turgan with a duel for his role as chieftain. Sam steps up and takes advantage of Daniel's earlier lie that she's their chief and challenges him directly. And with that, the fight is finally on. Thankfully, Sam came equipped for a knife fight. She ends up drawing first blood and is honestly pretty dominant in most of this fight. She takes him down, and then Naya begs for her father's life. Sam makes Turgan yield on pretty much every issue, and even gets a promise from him that they will not seek revenge for these actions. SG-1 ends up wishing Abu and Naya well in their future, and we see Morgul declare that the women of his tribe are now to be as free as the men. Good job, Sam. Not everyone really gets to tackle a patriarchy this directly, and hopefully this will be the worst this show ever gets in regards to representation and gender norms, but we made it through. Episode 4 ends with the crew heading back towards the gate to return to Earth. So this episode is the beginning of a trend in this series, in that the isolated societies the heroes encounter while exploring are usually reflective of a singular ancient culture from Earth. This is meant to play into the whole raw-seeded humans from Earth all over the galaxy thing, but I always wondered why more of these places didn't end up with diverse cultural groups. I think they try to explain this as being due to the small populations on these worlds, but we all know it was so they could really go to the Mongolian world this week, then the ancient Greek world next week. It's really not the worst thing ever, and they do start to play with new ideas down the road. We're still in the early days of season 1, so try not to hold any grudges over late 90s TV tropes. Apologies for the delay on this one. My day job got a bit nutty last week, so I was not able to record. Thanks to everyone watching these videos. I really enjoy talking about Stargate with you all, and I appreciate the comments and engagement. Be sure to let me know how much this episode made you cringe down in the comments, and please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. We still have a lot of SG-1 ahead. I thank you for any and all of your time. I have been Dr. Ursa, and until next time...
Do I have something growing out of my nose, or...?